Candace Owens. Old Candace. Old Candace.
The problem is not Netanyahu.
Oh, this is Norman Finkelstein on Candace.
The problem is the whole of Israeli society.
Exactly. So one of the strategies they're going to do is they have two options. One, they want to go into war so Netanyahu could become the dictator, become the forever president, right? Because in wartime, there's different rules where you could keep on serving. Maybe Trump's thinking the same thing right now. But if Netanyahu doesn't continue, you know what the Israelis are going to do? It wasn't us, it was Netanyahu the whole time. I know I'm fighting in the IDF, but I don't agree with him. You could be an Israeli and disagree with Netanyahu. It's misdirection. It's putting the blame on something else. Norman Finkelstein, the GOAT non-goy, saying facts.
If you look at the polls, half of Israeli Jews believe Israel should commit a genocide in Gaza.
Wow.
That's what the polls show. About 70 to 75.
You know, I can't believe yesterday when Dan Bilzerian ended the call saying that he would like get deployed in Israel. I don't know if you're gonna repeat what he said. Maybe you guys saw it. I can't believe that. I thought it was. I'm like, oh man. It was like, hello darkness, my old friend. I'm coming to get banned again. I got back on YouTube and now I'm cooked. Cause Bilzerian is unfiltered. I was like, oh my god, dude. You know. Thanks for the 20. What'd you say? You said, Assalamu alaikum from Germany. Thank you for your great work. May Allah bless you for your honest intentions. Will there be some footage from Gaza charity? Yes, we're going to get some. I had to set up. I was working on that today. I don't have any breaks. You know, I haven't even been talking about the Gaza charity enough. But I had to do all this stuff, all this, like, blah, blah, blah. There are so many restrictions to get food in. But yes, here's the Gaza charity, as you guys know. Setting up the nonprofit. It's at $126,000. Let's go. $126,000 so far. And yes, there already is footage from the food. If you go to the website, SNEAKO.com, you can see the food right here in Gaza. Yeah, and again, people move on so quickly. Like, the Epstein regime is just doing so much evil that we forget what's going on. But yeah, here we have a lot of footage. But that's not all the money. Not all the money has been sent yet. I think this is like the first batch. I think that was around 10,000 of the dollars. So I'm going to get it all in. And the foundations that I'm going to work with, I don't want to specify too much, you know, because you understand how it works. But all the money is going. Nobody's taking any profit. I'm not paying anybody to get the food in. Every organization that we're working with, it's 100% of the money goes in. So SNEAKO.com, it's going to be open up for all of Lent/Ramadan. You know, we're about halfway through Ramadan. And what a shame, too, the beautiful month of Ramadan. And Lent, it's Lent right now. You know that they specifically choose this time to do this war, that they've been begging to do it for 47 years. They could have done it at any time. They're choosing Ramadan and Lent to do this war because these Epstein demons seed so much that people have a holy time to pray and worship that they just have to do everything they can to distract people from their prayers. So I hope right now that even in this war, you know, and there's so much conflict and so much going on and taking us away from the straight path, I hope you're able to still have a good time and praying and, you know, getting your Taraweeh prayers in. I've not been perfect about Taraweeh, to be honest with you, because I am streaming a lot. I've probably prayed Taraweeh maybe 4 or 5 times in Ramadan. I wanted to be doing a lot more. I'm supposed to be in Medina right now. That's where I'm supposed to be, but obviously you know why I can't be there. So, but that's just how much they hate it. They choose this month specifically to do this because they just want you more distracted and away from it. Because, again, it's important that this is what keeps you away from being programmable. If you worship God and you don't worship the state, then they can't indoctrinate you with Epstein. Thanks for the 10. Type in, oh my God, bro. It's so bum. Look at these people, bro. Type in Yasir Qadi history to make history lectures on YouTube easily. Master orator. Would make excellent content. He keeps it detective and isn't brother Korid. Yasir Qadi. MashaAllah, brother. But here they go. Here's the charity. Lent Ramadan. Going to the kids in Gaza. All right, see, Norman.
5% in polls say there are no innocents in Gaza. No innocents.
There's nothing but children.
Yeah. No innocents in Gaza, half of the population being Jewish.
Yeah, the belief in Israel is that
search up on X what Iran did in Syria.
Search on X what Iran did in Syria. I know! My God, man. These people just come in and just... I know. Do you also know, and does Osmogol know, that Iran was fighting against ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and these were CIA-controlled regimes. These are CIA Mossad coded completely. Iran stepped up to fight them. They don't get credit for it because in America they think, it's brown and Muslim, it's all the same. Hockey and Dow. They don't know what's going on. And I think Iran also tried to step in after America declared war on terror. Iran said, hey, we'll come, okay, if you guys believe this. And of course they rejected it and said Iran was part of the Axis of Resistance, but people don't know that. People don't know that. And I did look up a lot of that stuff. A lot of people say, oh, Iran killed this, Iran killed that. I'm sure that there was, yeah, of course, there's war in empire. This happens. But you have to give Iran credit for fighting back against ISIS, for fighting back against Al-Qaeda. Maybe you could assume that some of these numbers are inflated because they want to put more blame on Iran. You know, they don't want to give them credit for what they did to resist the CIA regimes like Al-Qaeda, ISIS.
The former Israeli, or the current Israeli opposition leader, he said that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, they kill children as a hobby. As a hobby.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of like how proud they are when they kill a child, and it's really dark. But also, I will say, you can see psychological conditioning, as in their viewpoints on the Palestinians. You can tell is being nurtured from the time that they're a child. And I ran into somebody who left Israel, moved to Tennessee recently, and I ran into him at a farmer's market, and he said, "I absolutely love you, and I want you to know that we learn this stuff from the time we are children."
I totally agree with that.
He said, so he left, and he said, from the time we are children, we learn to. So he kind of broke a psychological barrier to get there, obviously, as an Israeli. But you are correct. I mean, and that's why.
You know what people moved on from so quickly? Obviously, the Chabad Jew tunnels were like Jews were popping up their yarmulke. Jews were flicking their yarmulkes up against the backheads of the sewer. Boing! Oy vey! And then climb out like Mario. Jews in New York were popping up sewer cans like Mario getting a power up. It's me, Jew! And they move on from that. The other one, that major thing that people moved on from, you remember when the IDF, they were banging on the walls of the prison to try to rape more, We're on YouTube, I should have said that. We're gonna have to cut soon. They were banging and they're knocking because, oy vey, I want to go grape the prisoners. Do you remember? This was publicized. This is true. Then they brought one of those grapists who was graping Palestinian resistance soldiers. They paraded him around talk shows, like the Jewish Jimmy Kimmel. They brought him on that show. It's like, hey, look at this IDF soldier. This guy's the top graper. Top grape. Top grape. Everyone moved on from that so quickly. That should have been like a major thing. Okay, the IDF is a terrorist organization where they literally protest not being able to grape more. And then people just move on.
The problem.
We got to remember this stuff. It's good to remember.